All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Today was FOMC day. Were you excited? Were you excited for FOMC day? I wasn't, because I knew it would be a big nothing burger, and it certainly was, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about interest rates. We will talk about what's going on in a little bit in the stock market. And of course, we'll cover crypto and our favorite Dogecoin. Goose was excited about Tom's shirt. What was that, velour? Was it? It had some kind of black long sleeve shirt. It had some kind of style to it. I don't know what it was. But anyway, Kriss is back. I'm back from my vacation. Yes, I did enjoy being outside a lot. As you can tell, I am not a pasty Boston white anymore like I would normally be if I was still up here in Boston during the week. But I wasn't. I was outside enjoying the sun, and so thus the look. This is not makeup. It's not makeup. Did you guys miss me? How did Charlotte do? Did Charlotte do it all right? We'll talk about that as well. I think she had some fun doing some live streams while I was out. Yes, Charles, I saw that today too. You got a gifted membership. Tom was giving away memberships. That was pretty cool. Tom always does a great job on FOMC days with Chirpow. And so I was over there as well while I was working. I was kind of doing a little bit of double duty, but now I am all yours. I'm all yours live. Kriss is back. Kriss is back. So we start with Dogecoin at 9.5 cents. 9.5 cents. That's where we were on the drop this morning. I covered that on X. So as always, if you miss me on YouTube, go over on X because I'm posting there when I'm not here. That's just the way it is. I can't always be on YouTube all the time, but I'm not always on X because I'm here talking to you guys as well. We'll get into the Q&A in just a little bit. I want to hear what you guys think. We will cover a number of things on KrissPax Live. Thanks for joining, everybody. We start with the news. This was this morning. Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Doge reverse gains ahead of the Fed decision. So we did have some nice, if I zoom out a little bit, we'll just go to the 2-hour chart and you'll see this nice big green, another big green pump. We had a number of successive pumps we've had for Dogecoin. This is the Dogecoin chart. On the 2-hour chart, we look back to the end of February, and then we've got, March 3rd, we've got March 9th, we've got March 12th, and then March 15th into the 16th. So that's how Dogecoin basically trades. It is a swing trader's delight. We've been talking about swing trading, and this kind of sideways action is perfect for making money on Dogecoin if you swing, if you're a swinger. Because guess what happens? It just time and time again, it just retraces and pulls back. And that's what we had early this morning, was yet another pullback for Dogecoin. And now it's time to buy in the dip and wait for the next run. It'll eventually do it. That's how Dogecoin has been trading. And I know some of you do some swing trading. That's what it's about. Most of us, however, we just buy and hold and we wait. And that's where we are. We're taking its time. It's just, we're waiting. What are we waiting for? We'll talk about that, but we're still waiting. But this is how Dogecoin trades. And you just have to expect it in this kind of market. We are not full bull. We are not full bear right now either. We're in a bigger bear market, and I'll show you that chart. But overall, short term, we're just kind of drifting sideways, up and down, up and down, up and down, which of course the bots make money too. If you're using some bots, the bots can make you money doing this as well. I prefer to trade on my own. But there's a difference between traders and investors, and I'll touch on that in a little bit as well. Just to keep everybody honest, I am not trading. I'm not trading right now. I'm doing some in stocks, like Goose says, right? Stock trading. I've done swing trading on stocks, but I don't do this kind of rapid up and down swing trading. I do bigger moves generally with stock swing trading, waiting for Megal to go on its next big run. We can talk about stocks and finance stuff in a little bit. But this is where we start here, is that ahead of the Fed rate decision, we did have a reversal of gains. Again, it was not only Dogecoin, but we did see Bitcoin give up its gain up to 76K. We talked about that $76,000 level being a key number, and it hit it perfectly. I had this orange line on my chart from weeks ago, and Bitcoin came up and hit it and got rejected, and has now moved back into the low 70s. The next blue line down here is 69K. That is the next support line. And inevitably, Bitcoin is going to come back into the 60s. That is the kind of market we are in. I know some of you were very excited about the move that we had over the weekend for Bitcoin coming up, and that many were talking about 80, 85K. And I was like, yeah, no, that's just not the market we are in. Again, I keep it real here. If you haven't been on KrissPax Live before, I'm not one of those moon boys that's just going to tell you what you want to hear. That doesn't happen here. I show you what I see on the charts, and I keep it real, or at least try to. I get caught up every now and then, but for the most part, we keep it real here. So that's where we start, and it's like the Fed holds the rate. The Fed holds the rate. No surprise. I said it would be a nothing burger. Fed holding rate. It's going to do that in April as well. Next month will be Jerome Powell's last as Fed chair, unless what we learned today, if Kevin Warsh or nobody else is approved by Congress, who has to do their approval of the new Fed chair. And of course, Congress being split like it is, who knows what'll happen. We may see Jerome Powell actually be Fed chair a little longer than we thought. So that was news today. That's about all that came out. Everything else was just sideways. So we've got a lot of pinging going on here. The pinger is on. I've got it muted quite a bit. Look at Bitcoin dropping. Yep. So taking out leverage longs as Bitcoin drops. I said it was going to hit the 60s. I didn't say it was going to be in the 60s during this live stream. But that's what's happening here. Bitcoin is going on another dip here. Another dip. We may see 69 during the live stream here. That means ETH is probably dipping. Yes, ETH down to 2160, and Doge is at 9.4. Doge is actually holding up a little better at the moment than Bitcoin. So we'll continue that in the background, and we'll look at the heat maps as well as we do. The other thing today in FOMC was the dot plot. The dot plot. So kind of interesting that the dot plot looking ahead to 2027, it's probably going to be one cut on average. One rate cut in 2026, one rate cut in 2027 is the average. But there's like 9 different FOMC meetings, or maybe 10. But there's only one rate cut this year projected and one rate cut next year. And that's it. So the Fed is going to go sideways too on interest rate cuts. That's just the way it's going to be. Now, we talked about, or Chappelle talked about some inflation and uncertainty due to the Mideast conflict or whatever he called it. He didn't call it a war. So there's some of that because of oil, of course. That's the big thing that is at risk here, is the price of oil during this Iran thing that's going on. So we start there. Stock market was down. Dow Jones 1.5, S&P a point, NASDAQ a point, small cap Russell 2000 a point, little over a point. So we had a lot of red in the stock market. That'd be $700 billion wiped out in the stock market in market cap today. We did have a few gainers. Circle continues to go up. Circle, very, very strong stock right now. And NVIDIA remains strong as well. So you have to decide if you're going to be putting money in the stock market, are you going to chase losers or ones that really drop lower and try and get them to come back up? Or are you going to keep it with the strong stocks and just continue to watch them go up? We'll be watching that. Again, I'm waiting for a big stock market mini crash to happen at some point in time, and it hasn't. It has drifted down. Today was another one of those days, but not like a big dump. And usually we see a big dump somewhere along the line, and that's when I'm planning on buying more. So, and I'm waiting on crypto as well. And you know that I'm patient, and I'll show you that. Oh, this is it right here. So this again is the chart that I posted back in January when Bitcoin was at $95,000 right here. Bitcoin was at 95K here. And this was the chart that I posted talking about 4-year cycles in Bitcoin. So yeah, my tanning bed appointments. Who does that? Who goes to a tanning salon? And the worst thing was, in Florida, I actually saw tanning salons. And I was just like, wait a minute. Why would somebody want to go to a tanning salon in Florida when the sun is out like all the time? That was odd. But yeah, this is what I said in January. Again, Bitcoin is at 95K. And I said, look at the 50-week moving average. You'll see rejections. You'll see an all-time high. Then you'll see a dip below. You'll see it come up and retest and then go lower. This is what happened in 2021 into 2022. We saw rejections on the 50-week moving average. We saw all-time high. Then we finally saw it break below with a dip, came back, retested, and moved lower. And so I said, this is going to move lower. And my arrow pointed down to 70K. Now, some people said, Kriss, I just don't see cryptocurrency dropping off like it did in 2022. Too many other things are in play right now. Well, this is what's playing out. Exactly is what's playing out. The 4-year cycles are not dead. Now, we can talk about individual coins like Dogecoin. Did it have a 4-year cycle? And I say, well, it kind of did. It front ran Bitcoin, just like it did in 2021. Remember, Bitcoin hit its all-time high in November, but Doge hit its all-time high in May of 2021 before that big middle of the year dip. And this time, Dogecoin hit its all-time high in December 2024, or not all-time high, but cycle high. And Bitcoin didn't hit its cycle high until October 2025. So the 4-year cycles tend to kind of continue. And here we are again. So that's why I still believe we're going to see lower prices, particularly through the summer. And that's where I am still waiting to buy on dips. I'm not buying near. That's just me. Now, some of you continue to buy on dips. Anything below 10 cents is a gift on Doge. Awesome. I'm being patient. And so I'm waiting. Doge is taking its time as what I say for that next big dip that I think is going to come. And so I'm patient and I'm waiting. A lot of talk about Bitcoin dominance is back again. There's some charts here that look like there's some patterns that are repeating from back in 2020, which isn't a 4-year cycle thing, but it is a pattern. And there's many of these accounts that still say alt season is loading. So there's still some kind of idea that there's going to be this thing called alt season. And it's just like, no, it's just not happening. We continue to see Ethereum. Look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin. It's still in a downtrend. Bitcoin has held up well. Most alts haven't, including ETH. And if you were all in on ETH, like Tom Lee, you're hurting. Tom Lee invested like $9 billion into Ethereum for Bitmine, and he's down like $7.5 to $8 billion in the red. It's like, yeah, he should have bought Bitcoin. But even Michael Saylor's still in the red on all of his Bitcoin. So I don't know. But until ETH goes on some crazy run, there's no alt season. There's no alt season. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. ETH overtaking Bitcoin like it did back here in 2021. And then again, there was this run here in 2022. I don't see those kinds of things, those huge runs of ETH compared to Bitcoin happening. So, and I know Doge can do that because Doge has its own catalysts, and we'll talk about that, but not ETH. I just don't see that happening. And even Trader Tardigrade, I mean, he's like, look, he's targeting 5,400 ETH as if this channel is some magical thing. And the price of ETH is just going to go flying back up this year to over $5,000. It's like, nope, that's not happening. I'm not going to see $5,000 ETH in 2026. There's nothing saying that there's going to be this huge run on ETH. So, but hey, Trader Allen just keeps posting this stuff. And he's just looking at charts. He's not looking at the news, and he's not looking at the cycles. He just posts charts. It's like, okay, that's what he does. X Money. So is X Money really going to launch in April 2026? We're seeing lots of screenshots, and we're seeing lots of little quick movies that people are making, like Red Ryder, a friend of Dogecoin, who is posting a lot of X Money content on X, showing how it works, because he's one of the beta users. Because he paid $1,000 to William Shatner's horse charitable organization in order to get how Elon sent that up with Captain Kirk. I still don't know, but anyway, and there's enough people that have paid their $1,000. I like horses, but I'm not giving $1,000 to William Shatner's charity just so I can have an early access and try out X Money. No, I'll be patient and I will wait on that as well. But I will use X Money, and I will use part of my portfolio will be all in X Money on X, and I do want to use it, especially after the banks. I just had this horrible experience with the banks again, and I'm just like, I don't like banks. I don't like banks. I don't like a bank. I don't like a banker asking me what I'm going to do with my money. It's none of your business. It's my money. You're holding it for me. I still kind of need the banks for certain transactions because you can't do it any other way. And it's like, don't ask me. Do not ask me what I'm doing with my money and how I can spend my money. That was bad. Yes, I'm back and I'm tanned. Yes. DJ and Charlie did live streams. Yes, I think she did 2 last week and then a 1 this week. She's not here tonight because she's doing some, she got like a dance class or something, she said, on Wednesdays now. So she can't be here in the chat on Wednesdays. But I joined in from San Antonio in the chat on her first live stream because I was in San Antonio. And so I got to join in, but I missed the others. But I hear she did well. And you guys had fun. And that was great. I was on vacation, not able to stream. And we've got a great community, and I certainly appreciate it. If you're not part of this community, would you subscribe? Please subscribe. She did her own channel. Look for DGen Charlie. Gooseman. She's under DGen Charlie. We can go to YouTube here and we can do a search, right? Of DGen Charlie, which I had done. And then there she is, DGen Charlie. So she's got her own channel here, DGen Charlie, and her live streams. So yeah, it looked like she had a lot of fun there while I was out. So and here's Doge again, still hanging out right between 9.5 and 9.4 right now. That's where Doge is. So X money. Now, we know Dogecoin is not going to be part of X money when it launches. We already know that. It's not going to be a big deal. But of course, the news are continually say X money is in beta and there's no Dogecoin. Oh, those poor Dogecoin holders. And I'm like, hey, I've been saying it all along that Doge wasn't going to be there. Just listen to me. I keep it real here. God. Could it be in the future? Maybe. Who knows? But just the thought that it might be is what keeps Dogecoin alive. Well, not alive, but it keeps it up. It keeps good support for Doge. Particularly on the dips, Doge will continue to be bought up, and we'll see what happens next month. April 2026, that's next month. Now, they call it early public access, so I don't know what that means. There's beta testing going on now, so what's early public access? Is that something else you got to pay for? Or is it going to be some kind of lottery system? They're going to slowly roll it out and ramp it up? That's not good PR. Good PR is just like go full bore. It's going to be not early public access, but complete public access. Just hype it up. But no, they don't do that. That's dumb. Meanwhile, Trader Allen is reaching out to Grok in order to get Grok to answer his question of whether we're going to see A or B. It's interesting that most of these, or both of these choices, are showing Dogecoin going up over 20 cents here mid-April. Now, we could see that with X money. There could be enough enthusiasm for Dogecoin, for Doge to go up. I did not predict 22 cents for April. My April prediction is 13 cents, 13 and a half. That was my prediction, 13 and a half with X money launching. 22, that's a bit bold. However, Alan makes his chart. Are we just going to see Doge immediately go up and then have some kind of pullback, maybe end of the month and then go higher? Or that's choice A, or is it going to be more choice B, where we see a pullback now back to the triangular support? What was resistance becomes support. We're going to see that move first and then higher. A or B at Grok. Do we need to see a base triangle retest? And Grok says 42% chance of A, 58% chance of B. 58% chance of B. Interesting. And of course, Alan asks Grok, well, why? Can you break that down? And Grok says, sure, the 42-58 split is my weighted probabilistic blend, base historical rate for post-triangle breakouts, 60% retest, the base break level before leg up is a common pattern, and the RSI neutral at 55, not extended. So the RSI isn't going to go crazy off the bat. It's going to stay in this range for longer. Overall healthy consolidation setup either way, but A ends up 42%, B 58. So a little bit of a dip before the rip. That's what Grok says. Meanwhile, we did have yesterday, Elon Musk did post his yearly St. Patrick's Day image. If you didn't see this yesterday, Elon posted on X. This is now the third year in a row he has posted the same picture. This is not a new picture. It was posted last year. It was posted the year before. And we covered it in depth, both last year and the year before. This year, I didn't really cover it because it was already covered. Well, Charlie, checking in from dance class. Hey, Charlie. DJ Charlie, everybody. Congratulations. Looks like you had some fun during your live streams. Enjoy your dance class. So if you zoom in on this picture, you'll see that there's these coins on the deck that are kind of sprinkled about. And you zoom in and they are indeed Doge coins. They are Doge coins. Why would Elon do that? For the fun of it. Why else? Right? Just for the fun of it. So, did Dogecoin pump because of that? No. Because we've seen this before. It's just Elon being Elon, but it would be nice if he did something different, but still Dogecoin related. But hey, he reposted the Dogecoin St. Patrick's Day with his dogs. So, and there's Floki there looking great with his green bow tie. And there's Dogecoin. So we had that. And then finally, we've got trading. So once you start, there's no going back. Welcome to trading, where you pay for every single mistake with dollars, not apologies. Are you ready to start? You pay for every single mistake with dollars, not apologies. Meaning, if you're trading, your money is on the line. Now, if you are an investor and not a trader, you have a longer term view. You're not looking for short-term profits. You're looking to buy and hold and wait for bigger things to come in the future. That's 95% of me. That's what I do. And then I got about 5% of a little bit of my portfolio that I do more active trading with. And that's just because I get bored sitting around waiting. But even now in this market, my trading has been more on a monthly basis, not a weekly or daily. So it's been pretty slow for me. But I've got so much other things going on that, but that's just me. So when I talk about investing, you know I'm talking about long-term hold. When I talk about trading, I'm talking about more immediate stuff, like we were talking earlier with swing trading, you know, this kind of movement that Dogecoin typically has in these sideways chop markets, which we're in right now. We're in this sideways chop market. And this is how Dogecoin has been trading. And people do take advantage of this by riding these moves up, selling, and it's usually not all your portfolio. And I don't recommend that, but it is where you can take a part of your portfolio and you can increase your overall Doge holdings if you're successful with this kind of swing trading. And again, this has been going on for about a month and a half now of this kind of up and down action. That doesn't mean it's going to continue this way. You don't know. And that's why I recommend, I mean, if you've got 100,000 Doge, I would not be swing trading 100,000 Doge. Some portion of it, and then you keep the rest for longer because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, this could have gone on a big run. You sold. It might have come back a little bit, and then all of a sudden it takes off, which Dogecoin can do at any time. And if you are out of all of your Doge because you're you're being a trader and not an investor, then you can miss a huge run on Dogecoin. So be careful. So be careful out there. But yeah, this has been the continuation, and I expect we will see another run up later this week. Maybe Friday. Maybe Friday will be a good day for a run. So I'm going to be live again on Friday. That'll be my next live stream. So join me then. And we'll see whether that pattern plays out. We get back over 10 cents. And that would be this kind of choppiness with another run up. We'll see whether that does indeed play out. We are still hearing the pinger going off. $420 million of leveraged liquidations over the past 24 hours. 420 million, 85% of them on the longs. $420 million. I don't know where these leverage traders get all their money, but they just keep losing and losing and losing again and again. All right. Q&A time, guys. How you doing? Everybody doing all right? Holding on? Like I said, Doge is taking its time. This is 2026 bear market, right? We're in the nines, we're back in the tens, back down to the nines, back in the tens, back down the nines. We're in the nines today. That's how it's going. Kriss needs a green screen filled with Dogecoins. Hello, Charlotte. Nice of Charlotte to join in and say hello while she's doing her thing. A group hug to the Pax fam. Sounds like you guys had a lot of fun with Charlotte while I was out. Awesome. Love it. Thoughts on AVAX and NEAR. So NEAR has this kind of AI thing going for it, and it may or may not work out. It's gone on a couple of huge pumps, but it's given up a lot of it. And AVAX continues to underperform from 2021 when there was so much promise. And even 2023 into 2024, AVAX was going to go on a big run, and it just gave it all back up and more. Here's the pullback we had this morning on AVAX. It's now below $10. That's interesting. That AVAX is about where Doge is, dollars to cents. I didn't think AVAX would be down that low. But we go to the weekly chart and we see Avalanche performance here. Here's back in 2021. Again, Avalanche was up at $120. $120 on Avalanche. But if you bought down at the bottoms of the summer of 2023, you were scooping it up at about the same price it is now, $9.50 or so. And you could have ridden it up to $60. $60 from 9 to 60. Now, Dogecoin went from 9 cents to 48 cents. Avalanche actually went up to 60. Then it went on a second run here at the end of November to $55. And that's when I drew this yellow line here, which would be the downward sloping resistance line. Its next move up that it had here in September of 2025 only got to 35, which is this red line here. So the red line, the more horizontal, what was support became resistance, was the true resistance line at $35. And that's as high as it got, and went from 35 in September all the way down to 9. Now, what's Avalanche going to do from here? That's a great question. Right now, we're in a bear market. We have our purple box up here in like $20. I would imagine we would see at some point in time toward the end of the year some recovery happening. Until then, I think we're going to be floating around these levels. We're going to see AVAX between like $8 and $11, kind of going sideways. I don't see anything huge news, particularly on the Avalanche, that's going to cause this to go on any great run. NEAR has a different looking chart. And that's because of this AI thing that NEAR goes on more frequent little runs here that it's happened in 2025. It had when AI crypto in 2024 was a big thing like Fetch and others, we saw higher prices. Of course, we then went into the bear, we had all the tariff mess, and then we had, I mean, NEAR has held up pretty well, but end of 2025 after October 10th, we had NEAR crashing down to about 90 cents, now back up to about $1.40. I have more faith that NEAR is going to do better going forward than AVAX. That would be my guess here. So, Goose does a DCA on one account, and he does a separate account for swing trading. That's a good way to do it. Keep it separated. Keep it separated. I would maybe DCA on Robinhood, and then on Coinbase, do your actual trading, because Coinbase is better for swing trading than Robinhood. Robinhood isn't great on swing trading because of the huge margin between the bid and the ask. You just don't get the best prices. But you can if you just Coinbase Advanced. Yeah, you pay a little fee each trade, but you're getting the price you want. Better for swing trading. Yes, I'm in Boston. Hey, thank you, Drip Man. How are you, my friend? I'm about to have a grinder, then head to the Packy, a scorcher in California. I was in Texas and Florida for my vacation. Texas and Florida, and you'll see I got some sun. I got a nice little tan going on here. Not typical for Bostonians in the middle of March. So I was enjoying being outside. We had one rain day on Sunday, and then Tuesday was my travel day, and it was cold. Florida, I mean, it was 60 degrees instead of 80 like it was the rest of the time I was there. But it was a travel day. So I just had to finish up some stuff on Tuesday before getting on a plane last night and flying back. So, hello, Raiden. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Do I follow Micron? Micron was the big PC maker in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then they were also making chips, and they've, of course, gotten out of the PC business and do more chip work. Small player in a big game. Is Micron going to hit it big? I don't know. But they've been doing well with some of their newer chips. That I do know. Let's look at their stock. You think it's too late to jump in, which is interesting. Oh yeah, look at that. So the stock has done very well here in the last 12 months. We look at where we are now in March. up at $450, where last March it was dipping down to $67. 500% gain. I have not looked at this Micron stock. That's quite the run. Wow. Do you jump in now? That's a good question, Pat. I don't know. There are so many other stocks that have potential to do this kind of thing, where now you would be buying something at an all-time high. I'm guessing it's an all-time high. I don't think it ever got this high before. Right. See, even that spike it had back in 1999, 2000, when it was making all those PCs, only got to $100, which back then that was a big run, but they were selling a lot of computers back then. Yeah. I don't know if I would be buying too much of this. Maybe put some money into it, and and that's sort of for safekeeping. That's quite the run. I mean, you compare that to NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA. Yeah. Somewhat similar. I believe stronger in NVIDIA from here than Micron. But that's quite that's quite the chart there. They've done very well. Did you miss out? Yeah. With most stocks, you usually find out about them after they've gone on big runs. That's true. Hi, Campo. Charlotte did a great job. She got quite technical on us, really. Healthy complement of spam. I heard about the spam. She tried out some spam online. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Have I ever eaten spam and had a Pez? No. And I'm not doing it. She had Pez as well. That's awesome. Good for her. That's fun. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Render had a nice run too. Yeah, like Near. Render did as well. I've always wondered about Render though, because they were initially set up to be this, it was sort of GPU mining almost. And yeah, Render got up to $13. March of 2024. End of 2024 only got up to about $10. Now it's at $1.70. Yeah, I don't have any of this either. I bought some back here in 2023 and I made money on it. Oh, that's right. They changed their name from RNDR to RENDER. That's what happened. And I sold it before that name change. I don't remember exactly when that was. But when it comes, again, to altcoins going forward, I'm not going to buy all these. I'm not buying Near. I'm not buying AVAX. I'm not buying Render. I'm not buying any of these. SWE is probably the only one I'll buy, sub $1 when it goes back down, which I think it probably will. That might be the only one, and maybe put a little back into like Pepe or something because it's way down. So those that are way down, I might put a little in because Pepe is just, I mean, look at this. From that high of Pepe December 2024 to now, it's 87% down. It's 87%. This was my initial purchase price here, this blue line at 11, and I sold it at 20. So almost doubled my investment when I sold this. That was my when it was going crazy back here. I sold at 20. I didn't get the top. That's okay. I made money on it. I didn't hold it all the way down. So yeah, buying some down here and if like at 3, sure, I might put a little into that. But it's going to be more Doge. That's where most of my rebuying is going to be. It's going to be in Dogecoin. How high will Dogecoin ever go? Well, Master Singer, that is a question nobody knows. Over how much period of time? Doge could infinitely go up over infinite amount of time. Inflation is going to keep going up. We compare prices to the dollar. Dollar gets weaker because of inflation. We print more money all the time. So just to keep up with inflation, Doge has to go up. Will we hit $1 eventually? Will that happen this year? Probably not. But at some point in time in the future. ICP, that's still a scam coin to me. Sorry. I mean, they've changed their focus like 3 times. And the launch was like as hokey as anything. So not a fan of ICP. While Kriss is on vacation, I gave up 2 things. Mayo and cheese. That's interesting. I just bought both of them this morning. Because I have sandwiches and I like Swiss on my sandwiches and I like mayonnaise a little bit. Seriously, I bought both today. Mayonnaise and cheese. But it's just eventually I'll get into my summer mode and it'll be just all fruits and veggies and I won't have many carbs. But cheese, I mean, come on, cheese is good. Cheese is good. Aussie here from Australia. Thank you. Glad to be back. You DCA on Weeble. That's where you've been. And swing on base. Yep, that's the way to do it. I sold Micron at 120 to buy more Doge. Hey, in the long run, your Doge might finally outpace Micron the next big run it does. So Rob, yeah, maybe, but yeah, Micron going up over 400. Yeah. But that's the way it goes. I heard Rob on Digital Asset News said something about me, but I haven't gone and found it yet. I've been way too busy with vacation, and then since I got back, I haven't had time yet. But I'll look for it. I will look for it. Yeah, Rob's cool. I like Rob. Like and subscribe, everybody. Thank you, Raiden, for the shout out. Everybody, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We're hanging out here. When you make pasta salad, you don't use mayo. Yeah, you shouldn't have to use mayonnaise in a pasta salad. Stocks had an alt season. Yeah, they did. I mean, stocks go on runs, and I mean, we look at the S&P 500, and you can see, here's Dogecoin on the weekly, and the S&P 500 is flipped. It went up. We hit all-time highs here in January. January into February were all-time highs. We pulled back a little bit since then, but that pullback hasn't been too bad. 5%. It's a 5% pullback. That can do that in an hour in crypto. That's like an hour in crypto, down 5%. Where the S&P 500 does it in 7 weeks. Stocks and crypto are very different. This was my big bold stock market crash forecast, April into May. Are we going to see that? I don't know. But I predicted it back in January. I predicted it right down into this range, and I said, I'm buying right there. So we started it a little earlier than I had predicted with the pullback in the stock market. So I'm waiting. But hey, that's just me. Keeping it nice and healthy. Hey, Super Dave, how are you? Got to try to find a coleslaw dressing again. Coleslaw is good. I like coleslaw. Anyone who had faith in Powell? Yeah, I told you too. It was a nothing burger, and it was going to be a nothing burger. Raiden just bought back into Pepe today. You got it at like 3.5, right? 3.5 on Pepe. It's going to be a good price, no doubt. I'm just going to wait a little longer. Spam. Like I said to Charlie, every time you open a tin of Spam, you think you're feeding a cat. Spam. Oh, man. I couldn't do it. The salt in it would just kill me. I couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm not giving up cheese. Powell is part of the cult. It's pretty predictable. It is. I mean, you almost knew everything he was going to say. And even Tom Crown said that, I guess, before, at the beginning of Tom Crown's stream today, he did a Powell impersonation, and just about all the words that he said were the same ones that Powell used. Now, when Powell does his speeches, he basically takes the previous speech and he modifies a few words. So you already know what he's going to talk about, the dual mandate and all that stuff, right? You already know that. So that's the easy part. So yeah, it's more for show than anything else. There's nothing new, no big revelations there. The only one we had today was that he would continue on as Fed chair if Warsh doesn't get approved by the Congress, because he's got to get approved. And if Congress is going to drag it out, or maybe for some reason you get some Republicans to flip and vote no, then Powell's going to be around a lot longer as Fed chair. That was news today. No one had really talked about that before. And I was like, that's interesting. We might have more Jerome Powell coming than we thought. That was interesting. Trump coin, I'm not touching anything Trump related going forward. I lost money on Trump token. I took the L. I used it to offset gains to reduce my tax liability a bit. And I just thought of it as that and a learning experience, and just don't touch anything Trump related ever again. Not doing it. I did make a lot of money a year and a half ago on the Trump stock. I made a lot of money on that, more than I lost on the Trump token, actually. Because leading up to the election, I just knew, buy the rumor, sell the news. I bought a bunch of that DJT stock, and made money on that. I don't know what an LPT coin is, Mohit. I'll need more information on that. Potted meat ice cream. I don't know about that. Turbo. Monero. Really? I have not looked at Monero in a long time. What's it look like? Oh no, this is the Exxon stock you're talking about. Why did I go to Monero? Exxon. Yeah, dump today. End of the day. But yeah, it's been up quite a bit. Ooh, look at that. Since the beginning of the year, 32% up. It's better than crypto. But again, the stocks are different. Stocks are different. I wanted to look at Monero. XMR, that's Monero. I don't hold this, so I've never really followed it that closely. Yeah, and it's coming down. Down 5% today, like most of crypto. Monero. I don't know what's going to happen with this thing going forward. I don't know. We had the big run up here in January. It was all this security, crypto, and Monero went on a big run. It gave it all up and then more. Ugh. Yeah, I won't be buying that. I'll buy Doge. Coleslaw is better than the Trump coin. There's a low sodium speed. Oh God, no, I'm not doing it. Yeah, I like coleslaw. I do. That's one of those things when you go to a restaurant and they give you choice of sides, and I don't want the big heavy. I don't need French fries or more potatoes or something, right? I want something a little healthier. Sometimes I'll get the coleslaw. Some make it better than others. Depends on what they put in there. So Tom Powell was almost 100%. Yeah, because he knows what Powell's going to say. Ugh. Everyone should be loading up on GME after Ryan Cohen's interview. He gave the Wall Street Journal. It's only a matter of time. I've been watching GME around $23, $24, right? Is what it is now. 23, 24. Yeah, 23.36 now. I've been watching this. I have it on my watch list. So yeah, if the S&P 500 does what I think, and it's going to have a dip April into May, if GME goes sub 20, like it was here at the end of December, and then back here end of November, I might get some. I still have my stock account, and it's mostly all in cash right now. I still hold some Megal. I'm in the middle of a swing trade on Megal, but the rest is in cash, and I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting for a big stock market dump, and then I'll be buying stocks, and GME might be one. Not AMC, that's for sure. That is the crappiest. Did you guys see AMC? If you follow me on X, you know I've been posting AMC, and I CC Adam Aaron all the time because this is like the worst stock ever. Look at this. Look at this stock, down to $1.02. It's going to be a penny stock before too long. So no, down. Not touching this. Some will say, oh, AMC, that looks like a great buying opportunity. Do you want to lose more money after you've already lost? Not touching this. The movie business is done. Nobody watches the movies. It's like the Oscars, like nobody cared. It's like, who were these people and what were these movies? Nobody cared except Hollywood. Nobody else cared. We learned a while ago not to buy celebrity coins. Yep. Now, the Trump coin did go on a little run last week when Trump announced he was going to be holding some special dinner at Mar-a-Lago that you could only get to if you hold his crypto. So it went on a little pump because people were buying it. So you still always have those kinds of things. LPT Liverpool. Oh, is that like a soccer club token or something? Is that what that is? LPT. Is it even on TradingView? LPT. Well, there is an LPT here that's traded on Binance. I don't know if this is the same one or you're talking about some other token that's a pump token or something like that. But this is the LPT crypto, $2.26. Long way down, like most from its 2024 highs. This one's down 90%. Yeah. I mean, bear market is where we are right now. If we go back into a bull next year, like everything is going to go up and you're going to make money. The thing is, when are you going to buy on the dips and what are you buying on the dips? Doge will go up 30% in a day. It will. And that's why you never want to be completely out of Dogecoin because it could do that any day. Now, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yes, the old KFC did have some of the best coleslaw. I will agree to that. That was good coleslaw. What they have today, I don't know because I don't go to KFC anymore. But I hear nothing as good as it used to be at KFC. Did you say I have a Discord? Oh, we were going to make one for that eGod token and then just bag that completely. Because the guy bailed. And it's just like, hey, if the guy bailed, I was going to help out by making a Discord server. And the guy bailed. He was like, oh, this is going to be long term. This is good. No, it wasn't. It was like a day later he bailed. So no Discord server. Eating a tablespoon of cinnamon is entertainment. I like to sprinkle a little cinnamon on things every now and then, but sprinkle, keyword. Movies are not dead. AMC is. Hey, they had good theaters. They, when they came out with those big comfy chairs, I mean, that was a risk at the time when they did that. That was pretty cool. I can't remember the last time I went to a movie theater now. Because the movies that are coming out are crap mostly. Just like, no. And half of the Oscar show is political. Yeah. Those are celebrities have nothing better to do than feel bad for the poor and the immigrants. And it's just like, hey, you can host some immigrants in your mansion if you want. Movies are dead. Nika, how are you? Vanry. What is that? I don't know what Vanry is. Vanry. It is also on Binance. Oh, nice little run here. Look at that. But it's giving it back up too soon. It's not holding its run. When did it start going up? On Monday, following into Tuesday. And then it's just been retraced since. Did it find a little local bottom right here? Did it find a little local bottom and it's going to come up on another little spike? Yeah, down 17% today. The Vanar chain, Vanry. How long has this been trading? into 23. It started on Binance. 32 cents. And now it's 0.006. Wow. I don't know about that. That's some huge sell-off in token price. I mean, that's like 95%, right? 99%. That's not good. But hey, short term, if you want to try and swing trade something, you can make some money on it. Maybe. Nothing is like it was when I was a kid, but then when I was a kid, dirt was still I know. KFC coleslaw was very sweet. It was. And back then, it was fine. Now, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, what kind of food was served? Last time I went to a movie, 80. No, that's way too far in the past, Turbo. Come on. Lethal Weapon. That's not the last time you went to a movie theater. Yeah, open up your gates. Exactly. They say all this shit, but then like, hey, if you feel bad for the immigrants, have some over. Have some over. If you believe in housing immigrants, have some at your house. Open your doors. Men in Black was the last time you went to a movie. I'm trying to remember the last movie I went to, and I don't remember. It was probably some meaningless thing with one of my sons that I went just because they wanted to see it. I can't remember one that I wanted to go see. Trump was supposed to give out some sort of token if you owned a share of DJT stock. Yeah, I don't think that happened. Back to the Future 40th anniversary showing. Well, that would have been a fun event to go to. The $1 million question is, will Doge hit 20 cents this year? Tedward, that's a good question. And I'm not predicting it. I'm not predicting 20 cents this year. I don't think there's enough going on for Dogecoin to get back up there this year. It's not going to be integrated on X. Doge 1, now they're saying 2027. Now, will Bitcoin go on some big run maybe this fall? It didn't in 2022. It actually went lower in the fall of 2022 due to the FTX crash and all that black swan stuff that was still going on. So, ugh. But summer of 2026 is a different thing. Never know. Not too many bullets fly in theaters. The seats are too sticky with unknown substances. Saw F1 at IMAX. I saw F1 on an airplane. The sound was terrible. I could hardly hear like half of what was being said. That was not a great experience. Watching movies on an airplane are not good. If you're going to spend the time I know you're trying to waste time, right? If you're on a 3-hour flight, put a movie on. But if it's a movie you really want to see, don't watch it on an airplane. It's just not enjoyable. And you get interrupted every time like the flight attendant comes on for an important announcement. Like they're serving like Cheez-Its and sodas. It's just like, I don't need a Cheez-It and a soda. I really don't. I don't need your Cheez-Its Then you open the bag and there's like 4 Cheez-Its in there. It's just like, what? The airlines make a big thing about like giving away food like on flights, and then it's like 4 Cheez-Its in a bag. It's like, wow. The Minecraft movie. Yes, I think that was it. I think that was it, Red Bull. The last movie I saw in a theater was the Minecraft movie. Yes. That was it. You remembered. That's right. I told everyone I was going to that movie. Yeah. Oh my God. That whole chicken dance thing and all that. Oh, it's just like, oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. The Wolf of Wall Street. Titanic in 3D. I remember seeing Titanic in the theater, but I didn't see the 3D version. But it was a widescreen. I remember that. It was pretty epic. Pretty epic in the widescreen format. You bought Doge at 12 cents. We'll get back up there, Mohit. Doge will get back up to 12 cents. During family reunions, I have all kinds of immigrants over. The food is amazing. The Doge cannot hover 15 to 20 cents in a bear market. No, we are seeing Dogecoins hovering right now, 9 to 10 cents. Not 15 to 20 switch. Would have been awesome if all of the Twilight movies were made in 3D. A Twilight fan you are. If you're into that, I never was. That wasn't my thing. But then too old for that when that came out. Doge OS, you know, they keep talking and talking and talking, and it's just like, when are they ever going to launch this thing? It's month after month after month. We thought February. Here we are, mid-March, nothing. I have no idea. I know, right? A movie you need to hear like race cars, F1. And I was just like, I've got a 3-hour flight. Here's a 2-hour, 20-minute movie. Awesome. I'll watch it. And it looked like a good movie. I just couldn't hear a lot of it. And I was kind of like halfway through it. I was kind of bummed at one of those interruptions. I was thinking, you know, I should probably just quit the movie and watch it again, like a home theater or something, and really enjoy it. But then I was like, well, what am I going to do for another hour and a half or an hour? And so I just watched the rest of it. And now I probably won't watch it again, and I'll never get that true, real race car sound because I won't watch it again. I've seen the movie now. I blame myself for that. And you knew when the movie started, Brad Pitt was going to be in bed with one of those girls, and it ended up being the senior like car designer. It wasn't going to be the young girl with the tire gun, right? I was like, wait, the young girl with the tire gun, is Brad Pitt going to go for that? No. But she had this, the tire girl had this odd appear. She kept showing up every now and then. And it was just like, why do they keep showing her? Why is she a thing in this movie? I didn't get that. That was weird. I saw one of the Twilight movies. I needed a testosterone shot. Do market makers manipulate mutual funds? No. Mutual funds are just the product of the stocks that make up the mutual fund. So as the stocks go, so goes the mutual fund. Market makers aren't involved in mutual fund prices. If you use the handout earbuds on a flight, they're very bad. So no, I was using my own earbuds because I have my own with the old style plug. Yeah, I got them. Yeah, they're right here. Because I just unpacked. Yeah, got my own earbuds right here. They're pretty good. They're Maxells. My earbuds right there. Look at that. So yeah, I've got my own, the old style plug there. So I bring this with me on the plane to listen to stuff. But yeah, the ones the so-called earbuds that the airlines hand out, that's just crap. Spider-Man. Another Spider-Man. I can't believe that they'll just keep it going as they make money, but I have not seen the trailer yet. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I saw the Downton Abbey movie was available on the flight, but I did watch it. I don't need to see the grand finale. It was an interesting TV show to watch. The first movie was a bit much, and I just didn't watch anything since then. I went to drive-in theaters in my past, long time ago. Again, the sound is awful, right? You got that little speaker hanging on your window. That was old school. Now you can play it through your car stereo. There's a way to link it in, but back in the day, you had the little speaker that you hung on your window. Hello, everybody. Hello. The $1.5 million question. Will Dogecoin hit 20 cents? Yeah. Next year. Now 2027 is different. Yes. That'll be a big one to watch, is what happens then. Because there's going to be some big things going on for Doge. John, you're a John Wick fan? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get into movies again. Maybe I'll start making good movies again. I don't know. So many retreads. It's just like, Hey, Grinder, how are you? Turbo being funny. Thought I was going to whip out the... Do you think I would save airline earbuds? No, I bring my own. And even then, it's just like... But, I mean, you're sitting on a 3-hour flight. You got to do something. What's the title of the stream today there, Shib? It's Doge taking its time. So we're in a bear market. And if you don't believe we're in a bear market, again, just go back to what I posted. Here we go again. Which was that post from January, where I laid out the whole 4-year cycle thing. And it's just like, yeah, it's going to go down. I knew it back in January. We were going down. And we did. So I posted this on X on January 17th. And it's playing out. Noise cancellation. Yeah, I see a lot of people with those big headphones. The drive-in speaker was the equivalent of 2 cans in a street. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Nobody in Hollywood has original ideas. Every once in a while, something comes out that's interesting, but everything else is a retread. Yep. Or it's like, I mean, F1 movie. I mean, was it an original? Maybe, kind of. I mean, everything else is like book adaptations, like the Hail Mary, right? It's the guy who wrote The Martian, right? Wrote this other space book, and they made a movie out of it. So, but it's kind of a lot like The Martian, I guess. I haven't seen it. I saw somebody talking about it. The Clarity bill passing would be a great start. Getting banks involved, bad idea. Agreed. I hate the banks. Like I said at the beginning of this stream, I hate the banks. Hopefully this most recent transaction is my last big one with a bank and I don't have to do it again. You drove away with the speaker in the window more than once. F1 content was cool. Story was old and boring. Kind of weird. I agree with that, Goose. It's an old and boring story. And at the end, you know, it's almost like predictable. So 2021 all-time high should be this cycle's bottom. That only works with Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin. Alts don't play the same game as Bitcoin. The whole CGI thing, I mean, like those Harry Potter movies, they're terrible. Just terrible. Say, Morello, thanks for joining in. We always have fun here. You know that. We always have fun. Hey, it's good to be back, but we're in a bear market still. Dogecoin is taking its time. Yes, we're going to be stuck here in the 9s and 10s for a long time going forward. It's not going to end anytime soon right now. So we just hang out. We talk about movies and food and other things as well. So I don't want the Hogwarts crew coming for me. Yes, Duchess. Joanna, you're completely welcome to post on my community. For those that don't know, on my community page, on my channel, there is a community tab right there. You can click on that, and anybody who subscribes to me can post. Charlotte posted a coffee picture here that says DJ Charlie with a Prada bag, of course. Hey, Ray, how'd you get that Prada bag there? How did you get the Prada bag? But that's cute, though. That's very cute. So yes, feel free to post on my community page. Mel Brooks is making Spaceballs 2. Wow. Well, that'll be fun. That was a long time ago when Spaceballs was made, but that was one of the funniest movies ever at the time. Now, today, if I rewatched it, it might not be as funny. Yeah, Bitcoin leads the way, alts follow, except not for all-time highs, though, because Dogecoin always front runs Bitcoin for the cycle high. Dogecoin always front runs Bitcoin. That's my man bag. Prada, of course. The Prada. Love it. That's good. Running in style, right, Raiden? Running in style. Doesn't the devil wear Prada? There's a Spaceballs 2 trailer already. I'll have to watch that. And the Spider-Man trailer. I'll have to watch the Spidey trailer too. The old comedy that was offensive was the best. Yeah. I did watch on one of the flights, I watched this old, it was called She's Out of My League, which I saw like 20 years ago. She's Out of My League. And I was just like, yeah, I'll just watch this for the fun of it. And I was like, wow, they could make that today. They wouldn't make that today. But it was funny. It's still funny. Yeah, Richard Pryor. A lot of that stuff you just couldn't do today. The only one who can get away with it is like Dave Chappelle. He can get away with it. But there was some really crude stuff back in the day, even in the movies. You just couldn't do. Can punch through 10 cents. Yes, switch. Doge will go back and forth like it's been doing. I think Doge will continue this cycle here, switch. Going on these runs up over 10, back down, up, back down, up, back down. I mean, that's how it's been, right? I don't see that changing anytime soon. Swing trading, like we said. Yeah, all those guys, Goose. All those guys. Remember George Carlin getting banned for his dirty words or whatever? It was just like... You know, no one cares what you say. So the I told you thing doesn't work on this channel. You know that. It doesn't work on this channel. Yeah, he was the king. The cancel culture. That's so ridiculous now. And then when I heard in order to be eligible for an Oscar, you had to have all this woke bullshit in your movies. That's like The Godfather you couldn't even put that up for an Oscar if it was made today because they didn't have like a certain percentage of actors that were just ridiculous. I saw that and I was like, what? Yes, Nick, exactly. Find joy in life. And that's what I do. And that is what I do. Is it wise to try swing trading? So switch, we talked about this earlier. I would say if you're interested in swing trading, use a second account. In your main account, you continue to DCA and do your normal thing. And then you take a small percentage of your portfolio and you swing trade with it and try and scoop up some extra Doge. But if you've got like 100,000 Dogecoin, I would not be swing trading or trying to swing trade 100,000 Doge, right? Maybe keep 90 of it in your DCA and then swing trade 10, see if you can build it to 20, something like that. And then it's like free Dogecoin, but not at the risk of your 100,000, of your whole bag. You don't want to risk that. If I want an Oscar, I will buy some Oscar Mayers. Would you though? Would you really? I don't even know what's in that stuff. Raiden gifted a membership. Who got it? Turbo. Turbo gets the gift membership. Ah. Congrats, Turbo. And look at that. Turbo's name is now in green. Turbo, you're green now. You feel special. Thanks for the giving out the gift membership there, Raiden. It's awesome. Time to wear green Speedos now. Oh my gosh. Yes. This month is going to be long. And the summer is probably going to be long too. But the summer, I'm going to be spending more really concentrating on my DCA in the summer. That's where the money is made. The money is not made in a bull market. The money is made in a bear market when you're scooping up cheap crypto and you profit from that in the bull market. That's how I did it last cycle. And that worked very well. Doesn't mean it'll happen again in the future. We don't know what's going to happen with crypto in 2027, 2028, but I'm guessing it's going to be higher than where it's going to be this summer. That's my guess. If I only try swing trading a small portion of my whole bag, should I still use a second account? You don't have to. You can do it out of the same account. I think it's just easier to track. And it keeps your DCA bag safe so you don't like start nipping into it. Goose switches, I switch, right? You can DCA and on Robinhood, and then you can swing trade on Coinbase. Swing trading crypto on Robinhood is really, really hard because Robinhood has that huge swing in the bid and ask price that, like you see 95.3 right now for the current price. Well, you can't sell it for 95.3 and you can't buy it at 95.3. You can sell it at 94.3 and you can buy at 96.3. You can't buy or sell at 95.3 right now on Robinhood. And this is in low volume. When it's high volume, when things are really happening, it's even worse. Hard to swing trade. But that's Robinhood. And if you know that, you can do okay. But that's an extra percentage that you have to build in. So Coinbase has low fees. The fees when you start aren't the best, but the more you continue to use Coinbase, they keep lowering your fees. But there is a fee to begin with. Yeah, with each trade, there's a small fee. But you're getting the price you want. It's a much better trading platform than Robinhood for trading. For investing, I think Robinhood's fine. Or Webull. Because then you can just put in a limit order price and it'll eventually hit it most likely, even though the price will actually go even lower. But there's no fee. You're essentially paying the fee in the difference between the bid and ask prices. Essentially what you're doing. Now, my high school had the smoking quad, right? The area outside where all the smokers went between classes. You couldn't smoke in the school, no. But there was a smoking quad. That's weird. Bring your own ash. I've never heard of that. Yours had a smoking lounge. Yeah. Oh. Oh, man. All right, gang. That's what we have today. Again, 9.5-cent Doge, pretty much. And it's probably where we'll be on Friday, too. We'll see how it goes between now and then. I hope everyone has a great Wednesday evening or Thursday morning for some of you, like Aussie, or it's already Thursday for you. And I'll be back on Friday live. So make sure you're subscribed. You got your notifications on. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.